on stage, go ahead. We are given microphones. I'm going to introduce you to our team, those who've won this edition. So please come in. Manu, Jose, big round of applause. Rafa, Borja, Adri, Rafa, and Enrique. I must say that not all members of the team are here because some of them haven't been able to make it, to come, but I'm sure they can see it from their house. Thank you very much for being here. I know that it's a difficult time. I know last year we knew that things were going to go well, but we didn't think we were going to win. Last year we knew that there was a challenge ahead of us. We knew it was going to be very difficult to win because there were many teams, very brilliant teams, and another challenge was to organize this event as hosts. And I was wrong. And I think that in the end, apart from winning, we hit the target. I'd like to congratulate my colleagues who've organized this and who've taken care of all the logistics. If you see somebody with a red jacket, I'm sure they've been in the organization, and some of them are not wearing it. But so, okay, I'm going to try and facilitate this in order to know about our experience. First of all, I'd like to ask a general sort of question, because they know what the competition is like, but I want to know who knows about this European Security Challenge. Please raise your hands if you've heard about this before. Somebody who knows what this is about. Oh, here, there's somebody who knows. There's somebody who knows. Come here to cheer up the competitors. You want to meet them? Well, let's see. I've been told that there was a Spanish team, but they're not here. They're not here, dressed with the soccer T-shirts. What's this? What's this? This is not the soccer Spanish team. No, it's a team that can make could make all sorts of events fail, because they could somehow make every computer system crash if they wanted to. Hello, how are you? Hello. So tall, so handsome, how good looking. Yes. So tell me, this is the Spanish soccer team or not? Who are these kids? Well, let them answer. Yes, we are the team. But what sort of team? I don't see you as a soccer player. I don't know. Well, not much of a soccer player, I guess. You're right. Please allow me to sit down, okay? Because, I don't know, I'm getting old and I'm tired. I haven't stopped doing things. I guess I've been doing so much exercise, so please give me a hand. And okay, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Big round of applause.
Pues mira, llevo un ajetreo, un
I'm so busy. I've been so busy. You know, I'm having a great time and I'm learning so much. They're calling me the cyber grandma. I came here and I didn't know how to do anything. I didn't even have a password in my cell phone, and now I've become a hacker. Well, you know that hackers wear hoods and all this. Maybe you've become one. Yes, I don't know. Who knows? So please, kids, tell us what sort of sports you play. Well, okay. Okay, please tell me, so I understand this. What are you, hackers, crackers, and what have you done? Okay, get the microphone, come on. Have to break the ice.
A war cry. They say that everybody has 5 minutes of glory throughout their lives, so take advantage of this opportunity here. It may not come again. So there is one of us missing, Adrian, that was hiding. So let's see if this one is a bit more talkative than the rest. Well, they are exhausted. They've been working all day. Well, we've introduced ourselves already. Adri, why don't you try? Why don't you go? Hello, everybody. Hello. Well, you don't have a gift for conversation, do you? So do you have any questions regarding hacking? Do you have any questions for Granny? What her password is, for example? You're here to learn, Granny. CyberCamp is for learning, yes, and for having fun also. What did you enjoy the most today, Granny? Well, I've learned that grooming is not that song, all the people grooving. It is something different. And fishing or phishing isn't exactly about fishing. It is about fishing other things. I think you have to tell me more than I to you. What do you do, guys? What do you guys do? Do you go out camping? How do you train? Well, there is a part that we can say, there is a part we cannot say. Well, start by the part you can share. Okay. I will try to have them talking a little bit. They were here for technical and non-technical training, and well, maybe one of them can tell us what they enjoyed the most of the trainings that we've carried out today. Come on, Adri, you came last. You are the one to speak. Well, everything is so much fun. We are having so much fun here. I swear to God. Yeah, actually, you're looking. You are really having a blast here. Well, I have. I'm serious. Have you participated in the CPR, TPR, separate, whatever? No, but I got French fries. Well, I think this is an insider joke. I don't really get it. Well, these are, CyberCamp jokes. And what else? What have you been doing? What have you done? What are your merits? Why are you here? Because I want to learn from you. Oh my God, they're so shy. Being a gypsy hacker is helpful. Be careful with what you say, because it might be politically incorrect. I am politically incorrect myself. Well, be careful. Yes, I confess it. I am politically incorrect. So, what you're basically saying that the future of our country's security is in these guys' hands. Oh my God. So we are in trouble. Well, this is what we have, but they are very good, and they've proved it. Well, yeah, if I see these guys dancing in a disco, oh my God. Well, this guy who spoke managed to clone digital fingertips. You see, this is something very dirty. But we're not going to tell you how he did it. And what do you mean? Do I have to find out by myself? No, I will tell you later. Oh, you're so nice. Come closer to me, please. And what else? What are your merits? What are your credits? I'm a double AK in Counter-Strike. I don't know you get that. I beg your pardon? I think I have to use this as a cochlear device. What have you said? I am double AK in Counter-Strike. So how can we help Granny to be more cyber safe in her daily life when she goes shopping, for example? What advice would you give to her? Yes, what can you tell me that I don't know? Because I know a lot of things myself. Adri, please raise your hand. Who's Adri? There are two guys named Adri, and none of them want to raise their hands. Rafa from Cordoba, go ahead. Or someone else from Cordoba. Well, both are called Rafa, and both are from Cordoba. Come on, Rafa, speak up. Well, I recently opened an Instagram profile. Now I am the Cyber Granny, and I chat with my children. With the chat, I shop on eBay, but I want some advice because I don't want to be in trouble. I don't want bad guys to steal from me. So you have to upload an XDL button, well, 2, 3, 4, 5 file. Oh my God, I haven't understood anything he just said. He's been very politically incorrect. And being politically incorrect will make you famous and earn a lot of money. So, Manuel, please, can you elaborate a little bit more? Well, the most important thing to us is the experience we all share. We are a team that, well, we get very well, we get along very well, and as a result, we get very good performances. So you've known each other very well, right? Yes. And do you know each other's passwords? Well, if Daniel talks about TS1SD, do you hack each other? Sometimes we do. Well, that's quite a challenge to hack each other, right? That's a nice thing. Please hold my arm. Oh, it's my granddaughter. Oh my God, hide me. Oh, she's all over me and I want to have fun. Where is my granny? She got away from me. Granny, what are you doing here? Oh, my sweet granddaughter, I hadn't seen you. Where were you? Is she bothering you? No, of course, we're trying to do social engineering here. Yes, these guys are so nice. They are telling me a lot of nice things. Have you taught her things? That's great. Where's my purse? What did you do with it? I don't want a hacker granny. That would be the last thing. I'm the hacker granny. I'm the hacker granny, you know? So, I'm getting hijacked here. So, bye-bye, guys. Thank you, Cyber Granny. A big round of applause for her. So, while we say goodbye to our granny, now I'm going to relaunch the question I asked before. How many of you is familiar with the CyberCamp Security Challenge? Well, most of you haven't heard of it, so I'm going to give you an overview. It's a test promoted by the Cybersecurity Agency and the EU, and all the countries have a national team. So, in order to have a national team, we need to make a selection out of CyberCamp or a similar thing that is organized in each of the countries. Here we've seen the Cyber Olympics, for example. Each team is made up of 10 teams. 5 of them are juniors, that is, they are younger than 20 years of age, and then another range of age between 21 and 25. So out of this selection and with this age filter, we draft the national team every year. Thanks to our general director and operations director, I have been working for the national team for a few years, and I'm really proud to work with this group of people year by year. This year, half of the team stayed the same, the other half is new members, and they are fascinating. Every conversation you have with them, whether it is in the hotel or having a drink outside, they're always thinking about how to get better and share information, because this kind of professionals, this kind of profiles usually compete against each other. We have seen next door that people were competing on an individual basis. However, here, as they said to Cyber Granny, they know each other very well and they almost share passwords. That's true. And this is something we work on very hard during training. This is not only about technical issues. We try to build a team and build social skills. So there are solid social and personal relationships here. I wanted to mention Antonio Ramos from Mundo Hacker World, who's in South America now, so I send him my regards from here. Since a picture is worth 1,000 words, I'm going to show you with a video clip what our training sessions are like, and you will get a pretty accurate idea of what our trainings are about. So here you go.
El encargado de entrenar.
I've been in charge of training the national team of cybersecurity on soft skills, the kind of abilities you need for communication, teamwork, coordination, be more creative.
una serie de desafíos técnicos que lo que
There are several technical challenges that enable them to automatize certain techniques and to work in group. The national team is built on two teams. They have several systems and they try to get into each other's machines.
Muy bien, pues yo creo que con este vídeo
So I think this video gives you an overview of part of what happened during these trainings. Not everything. There's always something that we keep for ourselves. The organization reminded me to tell you about the technical staff. We've had two main trainers, but there were other people involved, and we always try to leverage the knowledge of the people who've participated in the national team on the year before and that sometimes cannot continue participating. For example, Danny or Carlos, who wasn't feeling well and had to leave. Carlos was in Colombia with Antonio right now. So these people were very helpful. It would have been possible without them. So I want to ask for a big round of applause to the mentors and to the entire technical team that made this possible. I would also like to mention that we have reserves. We have the selection that we do with a capture flag. We perform training exercises, and that's how we build the team based on several concrete profiles, and we cover all needs: cryptography, reversing, etc. So in any case, it's always good to have a reserve staff in order to count on them if there is trouble. Now I would like to move on to a more technical part. I know a lot of young people here are eager to help, so I would like now that two of the members of the team tell you about two challenges that they had to face. And they are going to tell you also how they solved it. So now I'm going to give the floor to Jose and Manuel. If you
proyectar. Van a proyectar directamente desde aquí, ¿vale?
Bueno, voy a presentar una serie de retos que resolvimos.
I'm going to show you several challenges that we solved in the European challenge. The team is very peculiar, as you've seen. We all have different profiles and different senses of humor. And the challenge actually is to make these people work together as a team. So it's not so much about technical capabilities. Of course, we have them as the rest of the teams, but these are usually individualistic profiles, and what we measure here is whether they are able to work together as a team. The competition was made up of three different challenges. There were hardware challenges. You were given a board, for example, with a transmitter and an emitter. Then there was a keyboard, for example, for a safe box that we had to bypass. Then there was another challenge regarding smart cards, and then there were all the other challenges within a scenario with different stages. That's what we call jeopardy. And then there were two other jeopardy challenges that went related among them. Here we had reversing, exploiting, cryptography, reverse engineering abilities, etc. So I'm going to explain three challenges that were related. The goal was to obtain a root or a privileged access to a target machine. We only had the IP for that machine, so we had to go through a recognition phase. The attack was made up of three phases. There was a logging form that we had to bypass by means that I will explain later on. Then we had to run remote code through RFI, and then we had to scale privileges in the machine. The SQL injection was like this. There was a web login for portable devices, for mobile devices, and it was vulnerable to SQL injection. You would type in the string, and then you would have access to the login. Here we can see how it was attacked with reverse, but actually you could see the flag. I didn't want to display the flag in the presentation, but anyway. This would lead you or would give you the hint that there was an ID field with something weird in it. The SQL code is pretty simple, and it actually checked that there was just one row returning or reversing the query. This is one example. You use the inverted comma, and if you see it fails, you tried with dashes or with different things. When you see it's vulnerable, you finally achieve the login bypass. Here you couldn't extract the database as such, but at least you had a blind for secure injection, but that was basically it. From the ID field, we could see that we could inject code calling a route that was in a remote server. In order to check how it worked, we launched a server, and we saw how the call behaved. In this case, we were able to see how it adds a .txt file to the parameter. That is an important point. Since it was PHP, it would run any PHP file having that txt. So we would disclose a netcut in port 1234, for example. We prepared a reverse shell in PHP, and then we would launch the request and obtained the shell. Here we have how the shell is received, the commands that are run by default, and the ID as well. Although this wasn't strictly necessary, this kind of shell is uncomfortable to work with, so we updated to Meterpreter. In order to get this, we generated a payload with reverse TCP. We uploaded with the other shell and we run it. So when the multi-handler was launched with Metaexploit, we got the incoming execution. Here we can see how it would look like. And from this moment on, we have local access to the machine, but the user doesn't have privileges. We need to escalate or scale privileges or rights. The solution was very simple, but it took us quite a while to find it. In the end, the shadow file, not the password, only the shadow could be written on, overwritten. So if we changed the first line, we would change the hash to the root user, and since you changed this, you gain access to the machine. And in this kind of challenge, you need to think outside the box sometimes, because the solution may be simple, but you cannot find it. And neither you nor the other 15 countries in the competition, which is very curious. Now I'm going to give the floor over to Manuel. He's going to tell you about a reverse engineering challenge, which is a bit more visual and therefore more impressive. Hello, my name is Manuel Lango, and I'm trying to give you a detailed brief of how we solve a reverse engineering challenge. Have you ever heard about Redere, this logo? It's a reverse engineering framework, and we will carry out a concept engineering test with it. When we have the binary, we can see that it has an extension that makes us think that it may be a portable executable file. But if we use an integrated command, we see that this is a 32-bit ELF that has been statically linked. Therefore, it contains all the functions, and it hasn't been ripped off its symbols. Therefore, the reverse engineering process is going to be pretty simple. The first problem is to know where the flag is. Reverse engineering is a process in which you have a final result, and then you use several methodologies and procedures in order to find out how the binary or the solution was created. In this case, we have a Redere solution, a very simple solution that enables us to see this. The most noticeable thing is a number of transfers that we can see highlighted here in this screenshot. First, they write the flag. It's usually string, and then in the position where the flag is, it is overwritten. So this indicates that there's probably some sort of string. That's why we are going to try to achieve the flag. If we launch Redere with the -D order, we do it in a debugger mode. So when we try to run it, it detects that there is a debugger attached, and we get a string saying that binary debugging is not allowed. So what can we do? The first thing that came to mind was to find cross-references. We were looking for the famous ptrace function, and we saw there was this cross-reference in a symbol and the check function, and that was very clearly, we could see very clearly that this was the way to go. So the next step was to perform a bypass. In our case, we decided to patch. Here we have a small reference from the ptrace manual. And of course, before we go to the patching, we had to see how the check function is working. Here we have the basic blocks in this function with the next command with Redere 2. So this is a very basic block. There is a call to ptrace, and depending on the result of that validation, there is a part popping up saying that the process is being debugged. On the other hand, it goes to the right-hand side, and it leaves us as if we hadn't debugged the process. So the first approach in order to solve this problem is to change the conditional leap and make it leap to the part where it isn't debugged. So Redere 2 is very versatile because it abstracts us from the architecture. Given this very simple order command that you can see on the screen, we can alter it without having to change the OP code manually, which would be another possibility. But that would involve knowing about the instruction set of Intel for this architecture and also knowing about how architectures are configured. So with this very simple command, we can make it leap to the part where it's not being debugged. So in this case, we had to use W for writing. Now we reload it again in debugging mode. We can see where the flag is in the beginning. We can see that local Dutch 64 is a reference to stack frame, and it deducts an offset of 64 bytes. So after the flag is written, we continue with the C, and we see what we have in this reference. It shows the hexadecimal frame, and to the left we have the result in hexadecimal mode, and then in ASCII to the left, and this is how we got the flag with this process. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Manuel. So you're not running a demo, are you? This is how the presentation is going to go. Let's continue. There is an important issue I forgot to mention. I checked my notes and I realized that, the national team has been the host. This is a responsibility. 15 teams, actually 14 and ourselves. In total, 15 teams in a beautiful city, Malaga, wonderful weather. There is a language barrier that we need to overcome. So in this training, we also try to boost English. Not all the tests are technical. There is a public presentation that has to be in English, and our colleague Jose was able to do it pretty well, but we always have trouble with English. I have to admit that you have surprised me, because in the end, you ended up speaking English very well. You've been great hosts, and as the hours went by, you were able to speak to everybody, and even better. And of course, we partied because we deserved it. So congratulations as far as the English language knowledge is concerned, and for your hosting abilities. Regarding the tests, there are radio frequency tests, digital lock picking, opening locks with control mechanisms. But I think the best of it all is going to be in this video that we've prepared, and it's all about this experience. Please, if you can play the video, thank you.
Bueno, como seguramente os hayáis podido imaginar,
Well, as you can imagine,
puedo asegurar que era muy duro.
with a very tough jury, with extraordinary teams against us. This was a huge challenge. We are here as if this was dead easy, but it was extraordinarily complicated. It's 15 countries competing, probably 5 more next year, in order to reach a goal of 28 countries. I wanted to stress also something that we may be able to do something about. The European Commission is promoting gender equality, and unfortunately, there are very few women interested in this kind of competitions. So if you know, you here and the people who are watching from home, if you know female colleagues, because there are some, because some of them aren't even aware of the existence of CyberCamp. So if you know girls with these profiles, please let them know, because we are interested. We are very interested in contacting them. So before calling mentors and the rest of the team and asking them to join me up on the stage, I wanted to open a Q&A session, because I think it's interesting that you can share your questions or your comments in relation to this experience, as one of the goals we have here today is to encourage you to participate in CyberCamp, to see that this goes beyond having fun and winning prizes. So please, if you would like to ask questions to the team, please go ahead. It would be interesting that we heard you. Mentors, do you have questions? Come on, I know it's late. Tati, isn't there anything you would like to ask the national team? If Iniesta or Sergio Ramos, one of the Spanish soccer national teams player, were here, I'm sure you would have a lot of questions. Hello and congratulations to you all, because you've been great representatives of Spain in these challenges. You've mentioned Iniesta and other soccer players. These players have a long background. In the end, they go to a first division team and then they go to the national team. What is your background? What is the path you have to walk until you get inside this team? That's what I would like to know, actually. And also I have to tell you that I'm very jealous, because you are awesome. I was impressed by the presentations, and I also encourage them to take advantage of the fact that they have so much information available. When I started in this world, I had to read manuals that were this thick. So thank you very much. Well, I will answer the first question. The national team is made up by competitors who have given proof of their potential, as the CyberCamp motto goes, in Cyber Olympics, that is the school competition, as in the CDF, the individual competition. They've all participated in CDF or Cyber Olympics with their own schools. Some of them didn't participate last year, but maybe 2 years ago, so they've all participated in CyberCamp and the Cyber Olympics. I think it's pretty reasonable, and what we do is, after their participation in CDF, we get an individual report with the characteristics of each of them. So, just like in the soccer team, we try to have the best goalkeeper, the best forwarder, etc. So as long as the basic requirements, the age requirements are met, and another requirement, which is that they are not at work when they are drawn, This has changed. In the first year, you could take people up to 30 years of age, and then they changed that rule. And then they cannot be over 25 now. So our captain Jose is turning 26 this year, so he won't be able to continue with us, as well as other competitors that now have become mentors. So that would be the answers. They need to participate in CyberCamp. So this is the answer to the first question, I think. And if you would like to answer to the second one, well, my recommendation is passion, devotion. I take things very seriously. I spent hours on end hacking, practicing, exercising, creating virtual machines, and this is the key. Have devotion and passion. I hack during sleepless nights. I sleep only 3-4 hours a day sometimes, so it's your passion. You have to love this. I love this myself. I could be working on this for hours on end, and that's something I love. And for example, in my case, I don't have any academic background, and you don't need anything like that. You just need eagerness and willingness. Anything else that you would like to add? I think it's important what you were saying. Having a passion is great. If you are at home and you're not used to this way of competing in cities, this is not about being evil. We are working on the future cybersecurity profiles, that is, people who are able to prove, as in the presentations you've been able to see, people who can show and solve security issues and breaches. So all the hours that Borja devotes to this are probably in favor of us as a whole. So, well, sometimes you need to be offensive, of course, in order to know where they are coming from, but not to be evil, but to protect ourselves, rather. I don't know if there are any more questions. Thank you for the question, by the way. Well, since we're running out of time, I would like to ask some people here to join me up on the stage. My colleagues from INCIBE, Tatiana, Jorge, Beatriz, please, a big round of applause to them all. Tatiana and Beatriz play a very important role. Without them, this competition wouldn't have taken place in Malaga. I think, well, this is the only time we are meant to organize it. It takes a lot of effort. And it's very good that we make it there. We have to organize, or they have to organize CyberCamp first. They have to organize training, logistics. They have to build a solid team, and they are working very hard in this sense. Since they are always in the backstage, I want them to be really up on the stage so that you can clearly see them. And now, please, mentors, former competitors who are still competing and winning, please join us on the stage. Well, Rimori and Danny always win something in CyberCamp. How did you score today? We were 5th. I was 22nd. Well, he won last year, actually. Bad luck today. Okay. So I just wanted you to introduce you to the team and the people who's behind. I would like to thank our managers who support us, because it's hard to be here day by day. We're passionate about it. We love hacking. We are here to learn rather than to teach, because youngsters have a lot to say and a lot to teach. And a lot of us would like to be here learning, but we have such a big workload that we unfortunately miss many of the conferences. So please, the last round of applause to the entire team. And if you can